So today we're gonna, thank you, Jessica. So today we're gonna talk about career and major exploration. So we're gonna talk about a few different career options that you can have once you finish high school, talk about what a major is and why it's important, and then you guys will have the chance to explore some on your own. And then at the end, we'll cover any questions that you guys might have. So for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Miss Lorena. I'm the middle school advisor, so I work with the middle schoolers. I think I see a few of the middle schoolers here. And then, yeah, I normally just work at the 4 middle schools and then support the high school advisors and our virtual events that we have too. And I'll let the other 2 advisors also share their intro.
Hey everyone, I am Ms. Tanzania. I am the high school talent search advisor for Castlemont High School and the office clients. So that is any student that attends any schools that's not our target schools. So that would be Cal Prep, Middle College, Oakland Tech, etc.
And hey everyone, my name is Miss Jessica. I am the advisor for De Anza High School.
Awesome. So we'll get started. So for our agenda, we're going to do expectations, a little quick icebreaker. Then we're going to talk about careers and career fields, the exploration activity that I shared with you guys, high school routes, the different degrees that you can get, and then finish with majors, and then just any questions that you guys might have or final reflections. So expectations, these are the same ones that you guys have seen at other webinars. The webinar is being recorded. Participate and be present as much as you can. Turn on your camera. We would love to see your face if you're able to. Raise hand or unmute if you have a question. You guys can just unmute yourselves as I'm going through the slides if you guys have any questions, or put it on the chat. And then take breaks and eat. I know that it's dinner time, so if you have your food nearby, feel free to eat too while we're talking through careers. So we're actually going to start with a Jamboard activity. So the Jamboard link is going to go right now on the chat, and then we're all going to hop on the Jamboard, and I'm just going to run through 5 check-in questions just to kind of see where you guys are at today, okay? And I'll pull. Can you guys see the Jamboard? Okay, perfect. Awesome. So we'll wait a few seconds just to see, just for everybody to get here. Okay, awesome. So we'll start with the first question. So use 3 words to describe your day. So for those of you who haven't used Jamboard before, you just grab a little sticky note and then you type it. So mine was a busy day. It was long, and it was also successful because I got groceries. So those are my 3 words. So then you just do that, and then you can just put it wherever. So just feel free to put 3 words, whatever would describe your day. And I'll put some music while we're going through this too.
Lorena, I think it's on view only.
Oh, sorry, my bad, y'all. Let me change that real quick. I know I was like, it's only 3 words, y'all. Let me share that. Let me change that. Okay, try it now. I just updated the permission. Okay. So yes, just put 3 words. If maybe you only have 1 big word to describe your day, then just use that 1 word. So again, start putting your words on the Jamboard and let me know if it doesn't let you still.
Do you want to show them how to do the sticky note again?
Yes, I can share one more time. So you just go over to the side and then pick the little sticky. You can choose any color, and then you can just type out your few words here and then save, and then it'll show up on the screen. So we're seeing a few. Long, busy, and slow. Busy. Ooh, unique. Okay, someone had a special day today. And these are all anonymous, so no one knows which one you did, so don't worry about that either. Tiring. Okay, we can move on to the next question. So it's going to be the same thing. So what is one thing you are looking forward to during break? So I know you guys have the next week off. So what is one thing you're looking forward to? So for me, I am looking forward towards food. Yes, someone else is on the same page. Sleeping in. Shopping. Ooh, Black Friday shopping. Yes. Sleep. Ooh, someone's gonna study more. That's cool. Going to LA, Thanksgiving, and rest. Yes, I know it's been a long semester. Yes, not having to set an alarm for like 7:30 is gonna be nice. These are my cousins, food, sleep.
I have someone that is having some trouble accessing the Jamboard. It's okay if you can't access it. You can also just put it in the chat if that's easier.
Yes. Yeah, thank you, Miss Jessica. Yeah, you can just put it on the chat. Okay, so we can move on to the next one. So what's one superpower you wish you had? So just one superpower, if you could choose one thing. Okay, super speed, flying, teleportation. Of course, there's always going to be that one person, right? The power to have every power. Super speed. All of them. Y'all are cheating. Mind control. Ooh, invisibility.
I'm surprised no one said they would just make money. Like,
Yep, everything. Yeah, I think I would choose invisibility too. So you can get away with so much. Someone just took your idea, Jessica. Never mind, make money. Okay, teleportation, free traveling. Yes, save yourself the flight tickets. Okay, so we can move on to the next one. You can still put your sticky note even if we're running through the next one. I just want to get through the icebreaker so we can start talking about careers. So favorite pizza toppings. What are your favorite pizza toppings? Mine's pineapple. Yes. I know I've done a bunch of classroom presentations, and whenever I mention pineapple on pizza, I get such a bad response. So it's nice to see some pineapple lovers. The circle meatball thingies. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'm actually having pizza for dinner, so that's why I had this question. And then I know that we're also having our big pizza event next Tuesday for those who signed up. And if you didn't, don't worry, you'll probably have other chances. Oh no, we're having some debate already in the chat. Thank you, Elvira. Okay, so we can move on to the next one before people start getting more debateful. So list 3 things you want in your future. So what are three things you want in your future? So I can do mine real quick in case you guys are like, what? So happiness, family, and time. I want a lot of time. Just put 3 things you want. It can be material things, it can be emotions, it can be anything. Ooh, and a pool, yes. Live in luxury, being rich, being famous. I love that. Happiness, success, money, stable job, big house, financial stability. Yes, that's one of my big ones too, financial stability. Kids and no bills / taxes. Yes. Y'all are, yeah. Your guys' response is better than what I was thinking about. A house, a pet, money, having a stable yet fun job. Yes, we're going to be talking about that today.
Nobody said be healthy. Yeah, you don't want to be healthy.
They got other priorities, Miss Jessica. Rich, YouTube, famous, big house. Yes. World domination. They didn't even say anything else, just world domination. I love it. Okay, thanks, y'all. So I'll go back to our presentation so we can get started. So I wanted to end with that question because it kind of leads us into what we're going to be talking about today, and into our next slide. Does anybody want to read the quote that's on the slide? Anyone?
I can read it.
All right, thank you, Miss Jessica.
All right, so choose a job you love and you will never have to work a day in your life.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about. Hopefully you're going to hear about some careers, some options that you guys are going to have for when you grow up, and then how to kind of prioritize what you want to do, so that you do something that you love and that you enjoy. So we're going to be talking about careers for the first part. So a career is an occupation that is long-term, has the possibility to progress, and usually requires some education, more education, or experience. Some examples are teachers, doctors, engineers, business analysts, and many more, right? So these are the big things that you can do for a longer time. But things to consider, especially you guys are in high school and maybe you're getting your first time jobs, or even in college once you start once you start working while you're in school too, is that short-term jobs or summer opportunities, right? Summer internships can open doors to the right career and build your experience or give you a bigger understanding if the career is right for you. So the reason why I wanted to bring this up was because when I was in college, I did one of my first jobs was working at a law center as a receptionist. And I thought I wanted to be a lawyer, and then I worked there for like 3 months and I hated it. It was super quiet. It was a lot of like reading and a lot of just really like heads down work, and I didn't really like it. So I noticed that maybe that wasn't the right career for me after all. So we're going to be talking about the different types of career fields that you guys can choose from. So there's health and medicine, STEM, public and social services, business management and finance, trades and personal services, and then art and entertainment. There might be some careers that maybe don't fit exactly into some of these, but you guys will have the chance to check those out in an email that I'm going to be sending out probably after the webinar, so you guys get a deeper understanding of other career fields. But health and medicine, so careers in health and medicine or healthcare fields require different levels of education, and it's actually considered one of the fastest growing fields. And you guys can probably guess why, right? We're living longer, we're needing more care, healthcare, and then also with COVID, there's a lot of stuff going on too, right? That our health and medicine career field is really, really busy. So some examples are nurses, home health aide, physical therapists, surgeons, dental assistants, and then some basic skills that you need, right? Science skills, empathy and high ethics, interpersonal skills, collaboration, right? If you're one doctor, you're going to be working with a lot of people, and then leadership skills. So these are just some basic, 5 skills that you need. There's more skills that you're going to probably pick up as you're going into this field, but these are 5 that if you already have some of these, or if you're thinking about this field, then you might want to start working on your other skills that you might need to still work on. And then STEM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So these careers involve a lot of science and math. So if your favorite subjects are science and math, then definitely look into these careers. These careers, almost all of them require problem solving through the use of math and science, such as architects, scientists, researchers, graphic designers, engineers, software developers, right? If you want to go work for Google, you want to be working for the big companies, then you're going to need a lot of science and a lot of knowledge about technology. So the basic skills are science and math experience, right? So make sure that you're taking those high level math courses right now and science courses, computer tech knowledge, problem solving, engineering, design thinking, and then a lot of collaboration, right? Because you're working to solve something that probably has no answer yet. So you're going to need a lot of collaboration too. And then if you guys have any questions as I'm going through these, just let us know and we can slow down, or we can hopefully answer them. And then trades and personal services, I'll pass it on to Ms. Tanzania.
Yes, so for trades and personal services, so these careers, the careers in this field require specialization in a skill that is needed by most communities. Skills can be learned in different ways, such as apprenticeships, experience, vocational schools, college, etc. So if you have heard about the CTE programs at community college, for example, that is a good way to gain experience. You get a certificate and go straight into the work field. So it can go from aviation to cosmetology, etc. So some career examples are carpenter, flight attendant, welders, construction laborers, and nail techs. So I know during the pandemic, a lot of people became nail techs. Shout outs to y'all, because I love getting my nails done. I always found a good nail tech. So, but you do need to be licensed legally. So that's one good career that is popping at the moment. And then a flight attendant, my mom works at Southwest and her best friend is a flight attendant. And so the skills that needed for that career, of course, she has to be very attentive. She has a lot of people on her flight, 120, probably more. And so just in case if anything happens, she really needs to be attentive, great communication skills, customer service, of course. So the skills are needed by, it varies by career.
Awesome. And then public and social services. So these are careers that have a lot of strong focus on social justice, right? And community service. So if you love social justice, if you have a passion for helping others, then this is probably the career field, one of the career fields for you. Examples are, right, lawyers, community activists, teachers, police officers, mental health counselors. So for me, I knew that I wanted to stay within this field, right? But I knew that lawyer or being in law wasn't the right fit for me. So then I'm going into education, or I'm in education, right? Which is another public service where you're helping people and you're working with students. So again, the skills are passion for social work, right? Passion for helping others, critical thinking, interpersonal skills, right? Being able to work with people, because if you're in this career, you're going to be working with a lot of people. We all work with a lot of students. Writing and reading skills, and then leadership skills. So a lot of these skills are kind of similar throughout the different careers fields. So that also gives you a bigger picture to see, like, you might have a lot of different choices that fit what you want to do, right?
Cool. And then you have business management and finance. So this is another, career field that's kind of centered around just, the act of selling goods and services essentially for profit. And some career examples are you can be an accountant, you can be a personal financial advisor, a salesperson, you can even start your own company and be your own, be the CEO, the chief executive officer. You can, be a project management, folk that is just, overseeing something larger. So essentially, this will require, some a set of skill sets. And some of you may have already are probably wondering, like math, if you're going to be an accountant, you should know some basic math. And so your communication is very, very important. Again, this is a field that does require you to have to work with people. And so your interpersonal and your communication skills are very important. The way you show up, your presentation skills are also really important. The way you articulate information. If you're working in the field of business management and finance, you want to make sure that you know your audience, you know how to, communicate with your audience and sell them any kind of products, or a company if you're working for a company. So math experience is very, very important. And being able to really problem solve, and having solutions, and, being a solution oriented individual is super, super important. Aside from that, also having customer service skills. And so if you are working in any kind of customer service, position now, or if you're like, hey, I want to, work at Starbucks or something like that, those skills are actually very transferable. And so that is something that you can put on your resume, in the future, if you were looking for an internship within this field. These are some skills that you can highlight, because you are working with the general public, you are selling something, you are working for a company. So very important skills, even if it's something that you're doing now that for the most part is very transferable. And then you have art and entertainment. And so this is a career field that does require, a lot of creativity, and creativity is very, it looks very different. Everyone expresses themselves very differently, having confidence and having some sort of talent. And so it is, a career field that does require creation of, various mediums in the art and entertainment industry. And so there's definitely a lot of spotlight. You'll definitely have a lot of eyes on you. And if you love that, then this is probably the career field for you. And some examples, just to name a few, and there's very many, careers within this field. So being an actor, being a fashion designer, an interior designer, an illustrator, a web designer, even within, the tech field, you can still do all of these things, but, you can kind of cross-reference different career fields where you can, express your creativity. So this one is very, very broad. And some skills that you can work towards, or if you're just naturally very talented, having an artistic talent, your communication skills are very important. Again, you want to be able to communicate. What are you, showing? If you're an actor, you have to be able to articulate yourself really well. Being creative, right? We express ourselves and our creative, abilities in many different ways. So maybe you have a really creative way of doing something, and that just, is very admired, something like that. Having self-management skills is also very important, and also visual skills.
Yeah, so the big question, right? And don't worry, we went through those really fast. We'll be sending out an email with the slides, and then with even some websites where you can check out even more careers within those fields, because we only listed 5, but there's a ton of more careers within those fields. So the big question, how do I find the right career for me? A lot of us are still asking ourselves that question, right? It's an ongoing question that you're probably going to have. But some things to consider, especially right now that you guys are in high school or middle school, is whether you want a career that is meaningful to you, right? Whether you have a certain personal interest that you really want to explore more in your career, whether you care for or want job security, right? Maybe if you're an actor, you're working gig to gig, versus if you're a doctor, right? You're always going to have a job. But I know that depends for some people, right? Work environment. I told you guys I did not like my time at the law center. It was super quiet. Like the environment just wasn't the right fit for me. So what's that work environment that you want? Do you want to be working in an office? Do you want to be working with other people? Do you see yourself traveling? Like, what is that work environment for you? Experience. That's probably the biggest one that I'm going to highlight. I think experience is going to give you the biggest picture to what you really want to do. So if you're getting jobs offered, you know, even in high school, definitely take them if you can, or if it's something that you might be slightly interested in, because it's the best way for you to figure out whether it's going to be right for you or not. And then type of work and work style. Do you like working on your own? Do you like working 9 to 5, right? So a lot of us have 9 to 5 jobs, which means we start at 9 a.m., we end at 5 p.m. Is that the type of job that you want? Do you want to work a job that has that happens during the weekends? Do you want a job that's maybe only 3 months and then you get some time off, right? If you're a traveling nurse, sometimes you can do that. So that's other things to think about. And then location. Do you want to work in California? Do you want to maybe move out somewhere else, somewhere different? Especially if you want to work for a certain company, a lot of the times you have to work in the main city where they have their headquarters at. So that might be something that you want to think about, whether moving is an option for you. I know you guys are just in high school and middle school, but these are just ideas, right? And then pay, like, right? Do you care about how much money you're earning? And is that something to consider? And then if it is, then maybe look into those higher paying careers. So now we're going to have some career exploration time, just so you guys can kind of take a little test and then see what actually fits your interest, and then what the assessment tells you, right, about what type of career fields that would work for you. So the one that we're going to do, it's really interesting. I took it and I was like, wait, how are they going to tell me what I would be interested in? But it was really, really cool. So we're going to share the link right now. And then in the meantime, sorry, I'm trying to, there we go. So it's gonna look like this. And then you're gonna put in your information. I already did it once, but I wanted to show you guys the beginning because, again, it looks really interesting. And then 19, so now y'all know my birthday. It's 11 questions. It should be pretty quick. We can do sound off, and then I'll start mine, but I'll let you guys do it on your own, and then I'll play some music. So I won't actually do mine, but I'll just let you guys see what it looks like. And then as you're going through the questions, if you have any questions that come up, let me know, because again, it's a really interesting test. So you might be like, wait, Miss Lorena, is this the right thing? It is. It's just really, really interesting. So this is what it looks like. It's like a little virtual spot, and then it's going to ask you different questions. So just a typical weeknight, what are you watching? And then just go through the different examples. Okay, so I'll play some music. Again, if you have any questions, put it on the chat or unmute yourselves, and I'll give everybody till 6:40 so we can come back once you guys get your results. Okay, so 6 minutes.
I'm going to pause the recording for that.
Thank you, Ms. Jessica. Awesome. Okay, so now that you guys got your results, you guys should have gotten about 3 career fields. Does anybody want to share what they got, or if they were surprised by any of the 3 that they got, or not surprised like Miss Jessica and I were? And anybody can share. Tanzania, yeah, I'm not surprised about my results. And you can put it on the chat too if you feel more comfortable doing it on there. But we do want to hear from at least one student. So Kenny said, I was surprised. Mine are the opposite of what I originally planned on doing. Okay, that's okay, Kenny. You can still do what you want to do. All right, this is just an idea. Maybe in the future, right? A lot of people do change careers a lot. So maybe in the future, you can look into the other ones. I got human services. Okay. So anybody else?
Did anybody get education? Or like teaching or anything like that? Just curious.
I got education and training.
Oh, who's that? Is that Elvira?
Yeah, and then I got STEM, and then I had health science, which I would never choose. I don't feel like that.
Good to know.
Yes, future trio advisor. Awesome, y'all. Well, thank you guys for sharing. So someone else, oh, there's a lot of people actually. wasn't what I thought. I got STEM, human science. I'm really surprised that I got health science because healthcare isn't something I aspire to work in. Okay, yeah, so again, this test is just kind of telling you where your skills would be good at or would be a good match. Marketing, finance, and business. Okay. Yeah, so again, this is just one out of many tests and assessments that you guys can take. I like this one a little bit because it's a little bit funner than some of the other ones. The other ones can be like 1 to 10, what do you like to do more? Or like more subject based, versus this one was more of an activity. But you can, like, even on your own, just type in career assessments, and then you'll be able to take a bunch of different ones, and then different ones tell you different things. Or they'll kind of be around the same page, but you can kind of see if there's other things that interest you or you want to find out more stuff. So can everybody see my screen again with the webinar? Okay, just want to make sure. So let me go back to present and we can go over the last part. So yeah, so a lot of you guys were surprised. Awesome. So really quick pop quiz. Do all careers require a 4-year college degree? And you can just unmute yourself and share the answer. We kind of gave it away. Okay, awesome. Yes. So no, not all of them require 4 years. Some of them, right? Remember, like some of them require less, some of them require a lot more than 4 year degree. Awesome. So we're going to talk about that really quickly, the last 10 or so minutes. So these are the type of degrees that you guys can get right out of high school, right? So you guys can get an associate's degree from a community college, a certificate, right? If you want to do a trade or vocational career, then you can look into certificates. And those are mostly offered at community colleges as well, or vocational schools. And then the two big ones that you've probably heard more about is Bachelor's of Science and then the Bachelor's of Arts, right? Depending on what you study is where your bachelor's will be in. And then this is the time frame. So associates take about 2 years. It's okay to take longer in community college, but 2 years is like the timeline for a lot of students. And then certificates varies. There's some certificate programs that are 3 months or a summer. There's some certificate programs that are 2 years. It really, really depends. Bachelor's of Science and then Bachelor's of Arts, the time again is about 4 year, but there's students who take a little bit longer, or there's some students who get ahead in high school and then they have less classes to worry about once they get to college, and it might take a little bit less for them. So the reason why I brought that up is because we're going to be talking about majors. Majors are something that you're going to have to, it's something that you're going to have to pick, especially if you're going into an associate's, bachelor's, or any of the bachelors. So if you're going to get an associate's or a bachelor, you need to think about what major you're going to pick. And this kind of goes back to our very first topic about careers. But a major is a specific subject area that students specialize in college. So it's typically between 1/3 and 1/2 of the courses that you'll be taking in college will be related to your major. So again, it's one subject. I like to think about it as one subject, one big subject that you pick. And then that's what your college experience and your college classes are going to be about. And then, do I have to choose one? That's a big question, right? Yes, you do. You will have till the end of your sophomore year of college to declare. And that's a big word that people use, declare, but it's just all it means is to pick a major officially, but you need to pick one during your college applications. It's really important that you at least have an idea when you're filling out your college applications. And advisors, jump in if you guys have more insight, but I know that undeclared is not something that we like to advise our students to do. And then, can I change it? Yes, on average, students change or switch their majors about 2 to 3 times. A lot of the times you take that first class in that major and then you're like, nope, this is not the subject that I want. And then you switch. Sometimes you change your career. Like I told you guys with me and my career as a lawyer, I was like, nope. And I didn't switch my major, but I did switch my career based on just the classes that I was taking. So again, what's the difference between a career versus a major? And then how are they tied, right? So your major doesn't have to be your career. That's what I was saying. I did political science. So that was the big name for what I studied, political science. And I'm not a lawyer or working in a government or working in the government. And that was mostly because of what I learned from my major. And then also that experience that I got somewhere else in the law center that made me really think about just not doing that as a career option for myself. And then, but it's still advised that you choose one in your desired field, right? So if you're super interested in something, still do it. So for me, political science was still something that I was interested in as far as the classes, not so much the actual job, right, of what that would look like. And then I did education as a minor. So I know we're talking about majors, but I did want to sneak in the word minor, because minor is, I like to think about it as a small subject, a small study that you can choose in college. It's most likely just like 5 to 7 classes, something really, really small. And then you can explore something else that you're interested in. So if you're getting pulled 3 different ways and you're thinking about 3 different subjects that you want to do, you can do a major and then you can do a minor. So my minor was in education and now I'm a college advisor. And then how do I choose one? The best thing that we can recommend is, again, to pick one that you enjoy, that you like, that you can sit in classes for, right? So if you can sit in a math class for 2 hours, do math, right? And you enjoy math, do math. If for me, political science, I really like the classes and just talking about other countries and learning about other countries. So that was why I really like that. And I was getting good grades. That's another big thing too. Pick a major that you're really gonna like so that you can get good grades, because good grades are important in college still. So pick something you're passionate or want to learn more about. And then really, really important, if you already know what you want to major in, make sure that you check in with your college advisor, because not all colleges offer the same majors. So if, for instance, you want to major in nursing, you need to make sure that the schools you're applying to have a nursing major, because there's a lot of them that don't, and then there's a lot of them that do. So you want to make sure that you're picking the right major in the right school. Do you guys have any questions? I know I went through that pretty quickly. But again, careers are the most important thing, and then majors, you will have some time, and then especially if you're a senior, then that's when you can start checking in with your college advisor so that you're picking the right one when you're applying to college and you're filling out your college applications.
Can I add something to that too, Lorena?
Yes, Ms. Jessica.
If you're in middle school and let's say you want to do like something in STEM, right? Maybe you want to be an engineer, or maybe you want to be a computer scientist, or maybe a mathematician. It's super important that you start taking, if you can, take Algebra 1 or Algebra 2 in middle school, so that by the time that you get to high school, you're already taking the higher level math classes, because colleges are really going to look at, the major that you're picking and what you've done. And you want those things to connect, you want to have the math background. And maybe your school, maybe let's say, for example, you didn't get a chance to take Algebra 1 or Algebra 2, in middle school. You can still, as a freshman in high school, in the summer, maybe you take an algebra class, in the summer, so that you're, staying up to, the competitiveness. So by the time that you are a senior, this isn't anything new. It's not new information for you. You've done the research, you have the background, and it'll really help you with your college applications in comparison to you're a senior, maybe you haven't taken many math classes and you want to do engineering. Your chances at that point become, a little bit more slimmer, and the extracurriculars are what's going to weigh in a lot more. And so you want to be very, start thinking and start planning. I know, if you're in high school, if you're a freshman, if you didn't know that information, maybe, for next semester, go talk to your advisor and say, hey, how can I sign up for a community college class? And oftentimes they're only $1. So, really important that you're like telling your college advisor that, like, hey, Ms. Lorena, I want to be a engineer. How can I take Algebra 1 at my 8th grade year? And then, you figure that out with your counselor. So it's really important that y'all keep that in mind though. STEM does require as early as middle school, start thinking about that.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that, Ms. Jessica. Yeah, that's really, really important. Make sure that if you're picking a major, that it kind of matches what you did in high school, right? Because if you were super involved in a lot of stuff, but then you pick, a random major, all of a sudden the people who are looking at your application might be like, wait, that doesn't add up. So make sure you're picking something. So I do want to ask the advisors if they can share maybe what they majored in college, so that you guys can kind of see the difference, right, that we all studied. Yeah, so I already shared mine. I majored in political science. So that's the study of government, right, and law. And then I can let another advisor just really quickly share. You can put it on the chat too.
I'll go. This is actually a really interesting story. So when I was in Trio, I knew I wanted to do something with people. I knew like I was a people person. I enjoy just talking and just helping people out. So my advisor recommended, oh, have you ever heard of sociology? And I did not know. I had never heard that major before. And I did a little bit of research and I was like, oh, okay, the study of social behavior, the way people function, the way our societies function. I thought that was super interesting. And what I thought was even more interesting and cool was that my advisor was like, it's so broad, you can learn about this and this and this. And they broke it down for me. And all of those things sounded super interesting. So when I applied to college, I applied as a sociology major. I wasn't a student who changed my major. I actually stuck with the same major the entire 4 years. But I was picking minors. You know, I wanted something that was different, but can still kind of align with what I wanted to do. So I minored in education too, like Miss Lorena. And it was actually really interesting. You'd be very surprised, you know, with the information that you learn about the American education system. There was a lot of stuff that I did not know that related to my life, you know, and I was, you know, first gen. And so for me, that was, you know, I'm learning the things that I lived through, and that was very meaningful for me. And so if I could go back, I think I probably would have wanted to minor in like a STEM related subject. At the time, I didn't really, you know, think I could do it, but I encourage you all, you know, if you're pursuing STEM, minor in a social study, or if you're pursuing social studies, minor in something else, if that's what you want to do, you know, because you want to be able to, you know, also have that, like, you know, that background, especially if you're working in a field where you're working with people, right? You may be a scientist, but you may have to work with the general public. It would look really solid on your resume if you had like a, you know, communications minor, or, you know, something of that sort. So you can kind of, you know, learn about what you are primarily like interested in, but you also are aware of what's happening in the world, and you can, you know, merge those things together.
Thank you, Miss Jessica.
Yeah, and I majored in psychology. Very similar to Jessica, I knew I wanted to become a psychology major and get my degree in psychology. Mainly at the beginning, I went into psychology because my grandmother, she is schizophrenic. And so I was really interested in like, how did the brain work that way? And so my first 2 years of college, I was really into like mental health and looking at mental illnesses. And so that was really interesting for me, but then it was really emotionally taxing for me. And so I decided to, in the psychology major, which is also extremely broad, I decided to go child development. I thought babies and kids were like my safe and home like zone. And so the last 2 years of my college life, I did a lot of child development courses. So a few of my courses, they actually brought in kids where we like examined them, and I thought that was like my home. And I didn't minor in education, but I did take an education class my junior year. Sorry, my dog is playing with her toy. And so I was able to advise a few of the students in Portland. And that's when I got into advising. And I was like, okay, I really enjoyed this type of work. And so with my psychology degree in that class, I thought this was like a perfect match for me, which it is. But very similar to Jessica, like I knew I wanted to go to psychology, but then my route changed inside psychology.
Thank you guys. So hopefully that was useful for the students to hear. Hopefully you guys kind of heard different ways that we picked our major, different majors that we picked, and how we all ended up doing something similar. And kind of just give you a bigger picture, right? That your major is important, but at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you do something that you really enjoy. So that's going to wrap up our webinar for today. If you have any questions, please let us know. You can share it out now. You can wait a little bit, and then please fill out the exit form. So we're going to be sending the exit form right now, and then please fill it out. That's going to be your exit ticket. And then if you have any questions, please stick around and then just let us know too.